We're at the center today, located on Peck Street in Muskegon Heights. I have got Reverend Robert. Say that last name for me.
Teszlewicz.
Teszlewicz. I grew up a little bit on the west side. I thought it was going to be Teszlewicz, but you got me.
Actually, I think in Polish it's Teszlewicz.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mine in Irish is O'Reilly. That's all it is to it. Robert, talk a little bit about the center here and what you got started. I mean, it's pretty recent that you got this open.
We've been open going on 2 months now.
Okay. Talk about your clientele. Tell me about the services you offer for the gay, lesbian, transgender community.
We offer support services. We offer referral services. People are a drop-in center. And it's not, even though we have specialized programs for that community, the center's open to anybody. We always wanted to be a totally inclusive center, to have people feel free to come in, be who you are, without being bullied or harassed, and that's our goal. That's our goal.
You are a Catholic apostolic priest.
Yes.
You are ordained like any other
Yes.
priest. You've been through the seminary. You've done all that kind of thing. What was it that got you thinking that your ministry should reach out to people of the gay community?
Well, it started back in the 80s with the AIDS crisis.
Sure.
Opened a foster care home for people with AIDS, and that had never been done before. In fact, in the whole state, the first one was in Detroit, and then we opened one here
Right here in Muskegon.
Town.
Yeah. And from there, you kind of grew your ministry a little bit,
Right.
and you had some problems early on.
We did. With when we opened the AIDS foster care home, we had the garage of the house fire bombed. We were constantly getting rocks thrown through the window, saying "die fags," and as we're trying to take care of these people who are dying. And basically, then there was medicine was not
What it is
plentiful,
today.
and it's not what
Yeah.
it is today. Yeah. So we had a lot of people, and basically all we could do was just to help them pass on in a safe and comfortable atmosphere. And I saw people at their worst, not only in the community, but even parents.
Yeah.
I'll never forget this one guy who was, we all just loved him to death, and he's passing away on we had hospital bed in his room, and he's passing on. I'm holding his hand and talking with him. And this is no exaggeration. And here is he had two sisters, one on each side of the bed, hollering at each other about who's going to take what when he passes away. Who's getting the TV, who's getting his clothes, who's getting, That was terrifying, and I remember just, looking at him and smiling and close his eyes.
And that was that. That was the last thing you heard.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
As time has gone on, and I don't dare say that gay is considered acceptable now by society standards. I don't think it's fair that it's that. But have you noticed a change in the perception of the community, or is it still got that stigma that people are so afraid of?
I think there's still a big stigma in Muskegon County. I think in some places it's gotten better.
Yeah.
More schools are having GSA, Gay Straight Alliances, so that kids can meet with their allies and that. And there's a faculty moderator. I think they meet once a week in several schools around in the county. That part is getting better, but still a lot of those kids who attend that, have to make up an excuse of why they're going,
Sure.
so that their parents, are not going to be pleased if they know that. And if somehow we could just educate the parents, because that's where it's going to be at. And not with the approach that I want to tell them anything that you must do this. I'm not going to tell anybody how to raise a child.
Sure.
But there are a lot of things I could suggest. 40-some years as a social worker in all sorts of different, arenas. I learned a lot of different things, and that's the part that we have to get to. We have to let parents understand that, your children need your support. That it's not an embarrassment to be an LGBT person. It's not a disgrace. It's not a mental illness. It's not any of those things. It's not an abomination, which is always a big one of people getting afraid of. Oh gosh, I don't want anybody to know that my child might be gay.
Yeah.
What does that say about me?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Is it a generational thing? Do you find that older people are a little more hesitant to be acceptant to the lifestyle, and that teens and people, growing up are a little more accepting?
I think progress has been made.
Yeah.
Certainly, and I think teens have become more accepting of their classmates and that, but not universally. You know,
Yeah.
there's still a horrendous amount of bullying. LGBT youth still commit suicide at a rate 3 times greater than the rest of the population. They're bullied 70% more. You know, it's all of these things that are just horrible because people are afraid of what they don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
what difference does it make? What possible difference does it make in your life if some 16-year-old boy feels that is a trans female? That's what his soul is.
Yeah.
And he starts dressing that way to express, you know, herself. How does that affect your life?
Doesn't.
Not in the least bit.
Yeah.
So, who cares?
No, who cares?
Let people be.
Talk about your services here. Do you got an open door,
Mhm.
which we found as I came in today.
Right.
And I mean, you're really open to anybody coming in to be a part of a group or to just say, hey,
Right.
I want to learn a little more.
Sure.
Talk about some of the groups that you do host.
We have a group for teens. We have a group for parents and allies. We have a group for the transgender population. We have a group for college-age kids. We have we're starting a cross-dressers group. A great group called the LGBT Wisdom Warriors.
Maybe you've seen my Mimi picture from a few Halloweens ago.
You know, we're trying to hit anybody. AA group that's
Sure.
that's starting. Eventually, we'll have an NA group.
Yep.
So we're trying to just do as much as we can. When we first opened, and I think the Chronicle did an interview, and my thing was, you know, we want to be your one-stop place, your one-stop agency.
Sure.
We don't have the answers. We're going to get them for you.
Yep.
And so we're networking with everybody in the community, and they're delighted that we're here
Yeah.
because there's been this void of, well, here's a gay person who says, well, where can I go for support? And
Sure.
they're like, oh, geez, I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows?
Well, now they know.
This time around with the new center here in the Heights, has it been a better reception than what you found back in the 80s?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a much better reception. People have been fine to us. You know, people are afraid of, oh, don't go in the Heights, and it was kind of funny this summer, you know, because we had no air conditioning.
Whoa.
So, you know, we're in here working 18 hours a day, you know, tearing up things and putting in ceilings and everything else, and we're about 3 weeks from, you know, announcing our opening, and then there's that time where people, all the, you know,
Mhm.
shooting and murders. And I remember going outside and saying, will you people stop? I'm trying to get this center open and you're not helping.
I want something positive here. Right.
What is wrong with you? Quit doing that.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, I think it's a generational thing. I think if people look at Muskegon Heights, there's always been that perception of you can't go into the Heights.
I don't get it.
No, people have been wonderful.
I
to
mean,
us.
it's seen its better days.
Yeah.
There are issues in the Heights.
Mhm.
There's no doubt about that. But overall, I can't think of a single time I've felt threatened or that I had a single enemy in the Heights.
No.
I don't. And that division that we've got in this town, I think's got to come to an end.
Right.
I think I've said it before, sink or swim,
Yeah.
and we're all in it together.
Exactly.
And it's important for all of us to
Mhm.
respect each other and try to understand where the deficiencies are and where the
basically-
holes are that need to be filled.
Right, and hasn't it always been like probably any other grouping? There's a small minority of people who have destroyed the reputation
Yeah.
of any given situation.
Sure.
You know, and that happens everywhere. You know, it happens everywhere. But you know, we need to look beyond that. And when people ask me, well, why are you in the Heights?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you why we're in the Heights. Because I spent a couple of months. I mean, this isn't just something that I woke up one morning and said, I'm going to start the center.
Yeah.
This is my vision.
Yeah.
I've been working on this for 6 months to a year now,
Yeah.
just getting everything planned out. And so I had made appointments. I went to 12 different locations in Muskegon City and in Muskegon Heights. 11 out of 12 said to us, we don't want you here.
Really?
We do not want that here. Yes. I remember talking to this guy who, at first, he's showing me the building. It was very nice, only a couple blocks from the county building
Yeah.
downtown. And I said, well, this is great. It's got a lot of parking and everything else. Pretty centralized. And then he said, well, the building, he was, you know, said, well, this building's been empty for 2 years and 3 years, and I really want to get people here. He said, what are you going to do? And I told him, he said, well, you know, we really don't want that here. And I said, my $600 a month isn't as good as somebody else's $600 a month.
Right.
You want to leave this empty? And he said, well, we just don't want that here. And he turned around and walked away.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy,
True story.
you would think in 2015 people would be a little bit more open-minded about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Tell me about the first experience for somebody that needs to come to your center. What mindset do they come in with, and what mindset do you try to let them leave with?
I think initially people are, it's a big step for them that they feel like to not only come to the Heights, but then to walk into the center
Yeah.
that is just all about them.
Yeah.
And I can see it in the faces of a lot of people. I remember when the first trans woman came in. Oh, I mean, she was so nervous because she didn't know what she was walking
They're
into.
nervous.
Oh, absolutely.
They're afraid.
And within 5 minutes of hey, come on in, sit down. Tell me about yourself, and here's what we do. And
Yeah.
and yeah, it's like, man, this is great. I'm glad that there's something here, and it's such a relief.
Yeah.
Not only for them, but for their allies. And we want parents to understand that. Come on down. I have gone through more criminal background checks in my professional career with the city, state, county, FBI, everybody else. When I was in foster care to get my social work license, all these types of things. I have like zero record.
Yeah.
We're not opening this place to lure children in here and
Right.
make them gay.
I noticed you saw that. You wrote that on Facebook earlier today. It's not. It's really a good first step for people who want to be who they are.
Exactly. And don't other groups.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look in the city, aren't there all these other groups, even though they're inclusive as far as being in the city itself? The Eagles like to be together, and the vets, and the police, and the firemen, and
Sure.
Union workers, and all that.
No different.
They have their own place.
Sure. This is a place for gay and lesbians
Right.
and transgender. When a parent comes to you and says, "Oh my God, my kid's gay,"
Mm-hmm.
what's your reaction?
Well, one, I'm usually kind of taken aback by their reaction to, they're embarrassed. What can we do to change this?
Yeah.
I have had several parents who have been really good.
Yeah.
It's like, I remember in the trans group, a father brought his, trans daughter here, and another one brought their trans son, and it was like, I remember talking with the parents for a good hour and a half, just one-on-one, and some of them, they don't agree with it, they don't understand it, but it's their child.
Yeah.
And they're going to support that.
Sure.
And that's, I think, what's important to look at. And we need to get parents more involved with what's going on here, because they're really forcing their child to lead a double life.
Yeah. At what age do kids start to, and I'm not suggesting kids be promiscuous at a young age. Personally, I don't think that I was a virgin until I was 22. So I mean, a little Catholic guilt in there and all that other stuff growing up. But at what age do kids start to realize that they're different and that they don't fit the mold?
Well, I know that I talk to transgender people, beautiful people all over the world, actually, and a lot of them will say to me that they knew when they were 3, 4, 5 years old.
Really?
Right.
And we're seeing TV shows with that now.
Yes.
Isn't there one with a little boy that is a transgender?
Mm-hmm.
He's like 5, 6 years old, something like that. Yeah. So it's starting to make a little bit more news, and maybe that stigma will start to go away.
Well, it's kind of like a step forward, 2 steps back when Target announced that they were taking their gender signs down from the toy section. It wasn't going to be boys and girls, they were just going to be mixed together. Here's the toys. Wow, what a backlash they got.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that one.
Yeah.
But whatever. If somebody needs to get hold of you, if somebody needs that support, if somebody needs to find a way to come out or whatever, what's their first step?
They can come down to the center, 2542 Peck Street, right on the corner of Peck and Sherman.
Okay.
Right next to LA Insurance is on the corner there, so you can't miss us, can't miss them either. They can call me. My private number is 231-288-7442 is my cell phone. Give me a call. Arrange you want to come down here. You want me to meet you, go to your church, go to your civic group, give a talk, do anything.
Yeah.
Come to your school. I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll be there. And we're not promoting
anything.
Anything.
Right.
We're not promoting anything. We're saying, here is a service that's available to the entire county,
Sure.
with specialized services to a specialized group of people who just want to be like everybody else, just treated fairly and equally.
10 years from now, where do you see this center? Or do you hope to see this center?
Well, actually the long range plan is to expand.
Mm-hmm.
We want to do housing for the youth who are kicked out of their house. We want to do that. We want to do have a whole education system. We want to have a school.
Sure. To help people out,
Yes.
to understand.
Right.
No real threat.
No.
Nothing to worry about.
Not a thing.
None whatsoever. Reverend Robert, the center is down on Peck, right at Peck and Sherman. Perfect. If it's something that you're afraid of, some people still are, you can stop in and learn a little bit more. And if it's something that you think you can use, stop in and see Reverend Robert. I think he's a pretty great guy. I see all your stuff on Facebook, and you're one of the most positive, good people with encouraging messages for everybody that I really stumble across. And you know, I spend a lot of time doing that kind of thing too, even with the little the web show here.
Right.
But when you put something on my wall, it always makes me feel good. I always feel like, wow, somebody thought of me today.
Yeah, that's great.
Even when I'm out trying to, boost everybody up,
Yeah.
and come on, let's go, team, for somebody else to stop and just say, hey, you're a pretty awesome person, it means a lot. And thank you. I wish you well.
Thank you.
Reverend Robert, thanks so much.